All right, good afternoon, class. So today we are going to look at our market structure essay question 2. All right, so with that, let us look at the question and then I will help you with the question interpretation analysis. And after that, you're on your own, all right? And then we will go through this in class. Okay, so essay question 2 is talking about barriers to entry. All right, I'm sure you all know what barriers to entry are and how it impacts uh, firms in the various industries lah. All right. So if you have strong barriers to entry, of course, it confers more market power. And this will then have impact on their pricing and output decision, and at the end of the day, upon their behavior. All right. So first part of the question using examples. Explain how barriers to entry here will confer more market power on firms. All right. So to address this question, let's quickly do a question analysis. So down here is an explain type of question. Content that we need to talk about barriers to entry. All right, BTE. You should be familiar with what the various examples of your barriers to entry are. It could be natural, it could be artificial. All right, and how it actually confer more market power on your firms. So you would have gone through the spectrum of your market structure. On one end, you have PC. On the other end, you have monopoly. Okay, and then in between, you have on this end, closer to PC, you have monopolistic competitive firms. All right, you also have your oligopoly. All right, and as you move closer towards monopoly from PC to monopoly, you can see how barriers to entry gradually become stronger. All right, and the stronger they are, the greater the market power. All right, so I want you to look at using examples here of your various barriers to entry, at least 2 to 3 examples. Explain how this help to bring about market power on firms. All right, so it's a very simple, straightforward question. Barriers to entry and how that actually brings about greater market power, more market power on your firms lah. So that's for part A. Very straightforward question. Okay, and you should be able to find most of the answer from your lecture notes. All right, so let us now look at question B. All right, discuss whether greater competition here should be introduced into markets in Singapore. So this question a bit more complicated, a bit more difficult because it is in a very specialized context. All right, in Singapore. So whether greater competition should be introduced into markets, whether it should be introduced. So you can use examples of which, in the past, Singapore, all right, we had greater competition introduced and whether it brought about improvement or whether it led to worsening of situation. All right, so some examples that you could think of, all right, telecommunications. All right, in the past, we had Singtel. And then after that, we had M1, StarHub, and then the mobile, and the fourth operator coming in. All right, so this is something that you want to look at. So Singtel, StarHub, M1, I think that one easier for you to look at. So telecommunication is one. All right, should there be greater competition? Has it led to greater welfare? All right, to your society, to your consumer. All right, and then how did it impact your producer? So that's something you want to consider and talk about. So telecommunication, banks is also another area. All right, in the past, DBS, POSB, they were two separate entities. All right, and then there was a merger between the two. All right, so that's something you want to consider as well. And I think if you are old enough, I'm not sure if any of you are old enough. All right, in the past, our media, all right, it used to be MediaCorp versus this other company, MediaWorks. Okay, this was SPH lah. All right, Singapore Press Holding. They had this company, MediaWorks. They were in the they were in the media industry, and then Singapore's market being small, all right, it was felt that there's actually duplication. So ended up MediaWorks had to bow out of the industry, out of the market. So returning back to just MediaCorp alone. All right. I think other examples you could think of your Singtel, StarHub. not in the telecommunication industry, but maybe in the pay TV industry. Whether this greater competition here, has it resulted in better welfare, or has it led to a situation that is worse off? So you probably want to think about, like your World Cup BPL, in order to stream this on their networks, okay, the pay TV. There was a situation whereby Singtel, StarHub, they tried to outbid one another, and then ended up resulting in the subscription fee being very exorbitant, very expensive. All right, so has it led to increase or worsen in the welfare? All right, be it for the consumer, be it for society. So that is something you want to look at. So this one requires a bit of reading up. I think it'd be good if you can read up a bit more about these various industry. You ask your parents lah. All right, and then you'll be in a better position to understand whether greater competition here should it be or should it not be introduced. All right, so when we talk about whether is it desirable, whether it should be introduced or not, all right, we want to look at consumer. What is the impact? So consumer, like what we have talked before, we want to look at improvement in quality of service. In consumer always concerned about price lah, and then impact on society, dynamic efficiency, equity. All right, then impact on producer. All right, lower profit, smaller market share. All right, will it reduce their ability to reap US? Because previously, if you serve just one market, if you are the only industry, if you're the only market, sorry, if you are the only firm in the market, all right, your ability to reap US will be higher lah. All right, and then impact on consumer. So thesis will be it is desirable, it should be introduced. Antithesis, greater competition may not necessarily be good lah. All right, so look at perspective of consumer, producer, society, and then you synthesize and conclude. All right, so I hope that should be helpful for you to do and address your question. All right.